In 1891, a 14-year-old named Sam Zemery arrived in America from Russia. He was fatherless and broke, carrying nothing but a one-way ticket and the address of a distant relative in Alabama. He spent his first years working as a helper in warehouses and grocery stores. He was a quiet observer, listening to suppliers, watching customers spend their money, learning the basic mechanics of trade in a country where he barely spoke the language. During this era, the banana was an exotic luxury. The entire industry was dominated by the United Fruit Company, a massive corporate monopoly that controlled the trade with military precision. Sam saved every penny he earned, waiting for a single opportunity where his small pile of cash could actually compete with the giants. In 1893, he traveled to the bustling port in Mobile, Alabama. This was the entry point for the heavy steamships that brought millions of bananas into the United States. The sorting process was absolute. Green bananas were loaded onto trains, yellow ones went to vendors, and anything with a dark spot was tossed into the trash. Because the network moved slowly, 15% of every shipment ripened early. To a giant corporation, this fruit was a liability, and they threw it away by the ton. Sam was now 16. He walked onto the docks and offered his entire life savings, $50, to buy the fruit the company was about to dump into the harbor. The sheer scale of a monopoly often creates these pockets of waste. United Fruit was built to move green fruit across the country, leaving a massive pile of perfectly edible inventory for anyone willing to take the risk. Sam loaded his trash into a railway car, but the clock was ticking. The trains were slow and unpredictable, often sitting on side tracks for hours. Every minute the train sat still, his investment ripened closer to total rot. He jumped off the train at a nearby station and ran for the telegraph office. He sent messages to every grocer and street vendor located at the upcoming stops. He offered them his ripening fruit at a price far lower than the monopolies, promising a commission to anyone who could meet the train with cash in hand. By the time the train reached its final stop, he had sold every single bunch. He turned his $50 into a profit of nearly $100. While the United Fruit Company relied on a rigid, slow-moving system, Sam used speed to turn their waste into his wealth. Sam scaled this process until he became one of the largest buyers on the docks. He was moving so much cheap, ripe fruit that he began to drive down the prices of United Fruit's premium green bananas. The corporation fought back. They delayed his shipments, shorted his orders, and began dumping their own cheap fruit into his territories to bankrupt him. To survive, Sam realized he had to control the source. He found an investor, bought a small fleet of aging ships, and headed into the jungles of Central America to build his own plantations. He lived in the mud for years, working alongside his crew to clear the jungle and plant the trees. He built his own roads, his own villages, and his own irrigation systems. He was no longer a middleman. By owning the land and the ships, he was building a system that no monopoly could easily shut down. Sam needed more land to keep up with the global demand, but his partner was terrified of the mounting corporate debt and refused to expand. Sam went to underworld lenders, borrowing the capital he needed at a staggering 50. This total control transformed the 16-year-old immigrant with a pile of rejected fruit into the owner of a billion-dollar empire. A moment of reflection. Controlling an entire supply chain produces more than just wealth. It produces a level of power that rivals sovereign nations. And as Sam would soon discover, when you own the land and the logistics of a country, you also have the power to decide who runs it.